Senator Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a pleasure to take a call on this, the Crown Mineral Amendment Bill. Sir, this bill is really about New Zealand's future. It's about building on the platform that this government has created in order to provide jobs, opportunities, economic growth for our nation going forward. Now, sir, due to some minor omissions in the transitional provisions of the Act that we passed last month, we've had to bring this bill into the House in order to correct some of those omissions. But, sir, we are doing this because it is prudent. We are doing this because it is responsible. And we are doing it because it is the right thing to do, sir. It's the right thing to do because this government is continuing to work on all fronts to ensure that this industry, the oil and gas industry, the minerals industry, is able to thrive and prosper in this country. And while members opposite will cry foul about what's going on in Australia and how their crown minerals are being utilised to their fullest extent, they continue to vote against bills that create jobs and opportunities for all New Zealanders. They continue to vote against jobs that are created by the construction of a convention centre. They continue to vote against jobs provided in manufacturing. They continue, sir, to vote against jobs where provision of infrastructure and broadband investments continue under this government, and they are against it all, sir. It's quite sad. But what this bill also creates, sir, is it creates certainty for operators who obtain mining licences under earlier regimes and who are covered by these transitional arrangements, sir. It provides certainty. And when you go out and talk, certainly to manufacturers and producers out in the market, I know the Labor Party don't worry about talking to those that create jobs and growth, but when you go out, sir, I go out there and I visit my manufacturers in Maungakiekie, and what do they say to me? What do they say? They say, we want lower taxes, we want less compliance and red tape, and we want the government to support business in order to support jobs and growth, and they support this government's business growth agenda. And while members opposite continue to rail against economic growth and rail against providing for our families, it's about families. It's about giving them the opportunities to look after themselves. And, sir, that's what this bill does. It supports that economic growth agenda. Ms Dalziel doesn't know what economic growth agenda was, even though she was the Commerce Minister for so long under that shabby Labor government between 1999 and 2008. So, sir, while they prefer to legislate, overtax and increase red tape and compliance, this government, with this bill and other bills like it, continue to promote jobs in this country, and that's why I commend this bill to the House, sir.
Mr. Speaker.
Andrew Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.